Hey YouTube, like the title says, in this video we're going to get this dash flocked. Now the first thing we got to do is go ahead and remove it from the car, which should be pretty easy. I barely have any bolts holding it on right now, just like 2 on the side and then the steering column. And then this dash will be ready to pull out, and then we can get to work on it. Now that the dash is out, it's going to make this process a hell of a lot easier. And then I can set this on. Let's do this. Fits on nice and smooth. And we'll go ahead and get this dash cap glued onto the dash, and then we're going to go ahead and end up flocking this dash cap. So I'm going to get to work on this and try and get her to fit real smooth. First thing I got to do though is I've really got to clean this place up. There's been a lot of work going on with the taillights and all the wiring in the dash and the headlights and all the wiring mess. So I'm going to get this garage cleaned up and put you on a time lapse. All right, and here it is. Got the gauges in there, all nice and neat looking. I did have to, trim quite a bit more off the back so I could get this to fit in there. But then once I got it to fit, it looks pretty good. Can't even tell I had to trim them. And then I still have enough wiggle room in the back so that I can angle these. Grab a hold of it so I can angle it towards me sitting in the driver's seat. So I can angle these, and then I'll silicone these back in. So everything else is fitting good. Put this on the table and get another look at it, but yeah, it fits good. Just need some clamps to hold some of this stuff down. But yeah, we'll get her glued in. But here is the bonding agent that came with the dash cap that we're going to use, and I think this should be plenty enough. And now the instructions say to scuff up the outside of the dash where you're going to be putting the glue. So it says to only put it around the outside edges. Don't put it anywhere else. So don't smear it all the way across everything, just around the outside edges. So you gotta sand it down on the dash and the cap, and gonna get that done, and then get that glued down, and then we should be ready to flock it. Alright, I got the dash rough sanded around the edges, and we're just going over the dash with some Prep-All, a cleaning agent, to hopefully clean all the oils out of the dash, and we'll get this baby bonded. So got her scratched up and start applying the glue. Okay, so we got the dash cap glued in, and got a bunch of weights there holding it together with a bunch of C-clamps and everything. So gonna let this sit overnight and come back out tomorrow and keep on working, and then this will be glued in place, and then we'll start to get the flocking material out. It's in the box. So all right, see you when this dries. All right, the dash cap is fully glued on. We already got the clamps taken off, and it looks really good. Fits pretty nice. So I went ahead and added this GoPro mount here. Easier to do it now rather than later. Taped up the VIN number, and also taped up this spot right here for the Datsun logo. And that's pretty much it. I wiped it down already with some prep all, and I think we're ready to get the flocking material out. So here are the materials that come in the kit. So this is about 70 bucks, and I bought it from flockit.com. So if you want to do this yourself, now you know how much it costs and where to get it. This is the tube that you use to apply the flocking material, and you'll see me use it. This is the suede. Got 2 bags of it, some instructions, and then this is the adhesive. Got 2 cans of this, and we've got this brush, and we've got 2 more. Basically, we have 10 to 15 minutes to get this whole project done. So I've got a timer set for 8 minutes, and when that timer goes off, we need to have all of the adhesive covering the whole dash, and then after that point, we'll start applying the suede. So that's kind of the process, and we're going to give it a shot. Alright, so this dash has dried overnight and it's looking pretty good. Now it's time to go ahead and kind of shake the dash and get all of the loose fibers off, and then try and sweep those back into the bag because they're still usable, and then we'll have a nice clean flocked dash. Alright, well here's the dash in its final form. Came out really good, and it's been basically 24 hours. It's the next day, and there's a few spots on the dash that's still kind of sticky, so need to let it sit for a while longer before I fully start messing with it and putting it back in the car. So just an FYI there. I used basically one whole bag of the suede, and I was able to reuse and pick back up a lot of the suede that made it on the table, and I didn't use any from the floor, just left that there, but any on the table I definitely picked up. So I got quite a bit left to do something else. Barely used any of the glue that came with it. The kit I bought you know, probably was a bit more than what I needed. So if you're gonna do this yourself, you probably don't need to buy as much as I did. So there you go. But yeah, there's the dash, and just give you some close-ups of it. Got to put the gauges in still, but again, I'll wait a little bit longer before it's completely dry, and you know, do that later. But yeah, I noticed a few spots where it's a little shiny still. I don't know if I can get it on camera, but there's a few spots kind of like up here, and this little lip will actually be covered by that cowl panel thing that goes up here. But otherwise, you know, if I was going to do it again, I would maybe move the dash to make sure I hit it at every single angle, and probably applied more suede just to make sure it was completely covered, because there's a few spots that are a little shiny, so they could have used a little bit more suede. But hey, first time I was doing this, I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and turned out, you know, as good as I can, and I think it looks pretty good. And GoPro mount looks nice. So all right, pretty quick video of flocking the dash. It wasn't too hard. It was fairly simple, and yeah, now I got a flock dash. So all right, thanks everyone. I'll see you in the next one.